So for the last 10 years, we've been having this debate over the end of The Last of Us. It came out in 2013, and the game itself sparked lots of debate over whether or not Joel's actions in the end were justified. Obviously, spoilers follow.
Welcome to the Fireflies. Sorry about that. They didn't know who you were.
And Ellie?
She's all right. They brought her back. You came all this way. How'd you do it?
It was her. She fought like hell to get here. Maybe it was meant to be.
I lost most of my crew crossing the country. I pretty much lost everything. And then you show up, and somehow we find you just in time to save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll take care
I
of her.
worry. Just let me see her, please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
The hell do you mean, surgery?
The doctors tell me the cordyceps, the growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine. A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where...
Stop. I get it. But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised her mother I would look after her.
Then why are you letting this happen?
Because this isn't about me, or even her. There is no other choice here.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him. Don't waste this gift, Joel.
Get up. I said get up. Go on. Move. I said move. Give me an excuse. Which way? What the fuck you doing? Keep walking. I said keep walking. Where's the operating room? I ain't got time for this. Where? Where? Top floor, the far end.
Basically, at the end of The Last of Us, Ellie is taken by the Fireflies, and they reveal that she's going to have to be killed in order to create a vaccine-like thing to save the world from the cordyceps infection. Joel goes ballistic and proceeds to kill every last one of them. He blasts his way through the hospital. He uses Molotov cocktails, nail bombs, all kinds of melee attacks. Whatever weapon he can find, he fights his way and scrapes and kills and bloodies his way through until he can save her. And then he proceeds to lie to her about what happened. He kills Marlene, who, begs for her life and all that jazz. The show does pretty much the same thing, minus, a good portion of the combat that you have in the game. In both the show and the game, Joel saves Ellie and then lies to her about what happened, and she sort of grudgingly accepts his lie, which I think she knows is a lie. She just doesn't really know what the truth is. Both of them do this out of love. This is my take, okay? It's remarkable to me how many people I see shitting on Joel and his actions here. They say he's selfish, doing this to selfishly keep Ellie because he's made her his new Sarah, his new daughter, and that somehow this is selfish, and that he is a violent monster who condemns the world to this pandemic. And then we get into this debate. Is it morally acceptable to sacrifice the one to save the many? Is it morally acceptable to save someone, even if that means condemning the many? The trolley car thought experiment is brought up. Then people, counter with, well, what about, these fireflies? Who says they really could have made a vaccine? It doesn't seem very medically savvy to kill the one immune person you have in order to create this vaccine. And this is kind of a rush job and all this. All of that to me is totally, totally irrelevant. I don't think what Joel did was selfish at all. I think that even if you said with 100% certainty that they could have created a vaccine from Ellie, that it would have been a morally reprehensible thing to do, because you don't take the life of an innocent to save others. If the only way to save the world is to kill an innocent child, then the world is not worth saving. More to the point, what the fuck would you do if you were in Joel's shoes? This is the question that I whenever I see, and read through comment sections. I was looking at this piece on Kotaku and reading through the comments, and everyone's talking about how selfish Joel is. What would you do? Because I'm sorry, if my daughter, or even if she was my surrogate daughter, just a teenage girl that I had grown close to over the last few months and felt the need to protect, because I love this person, and because I believe it's wrong to kill her, which may be partly selfish, yes, but partly that's not selfish, because this is somebody else's life you're talking about here, not your own. What I would do is the same exact thing Joel did. And I think it is the only morally acceptable thing to do in this situation. Allowing an innocent child to die on the hopes of creating a cure for the rest of the world is a morally reprehensible thing to do. If Joel had walked away, if Joel had let this happen, if he had not tried his damnedest to save her, I think he would have been committing a terrible, terrible sin. And I don't mean that in a religious sense. I just mean that in a moral sense, you protect your loved ones. You do everything you can. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes they just get hurt. And anybody with teenagers knows this. Teenagers are often, just like toddlers, often getting hurt because they learn trials by fire. But it's just remarkable to me that so many people think he's being selfish, or that they say, well, he should have let Ellie decide. Well, Ellie is a child. Ellie doesn't get to decide something like that for herself. If she wants to go back after she's had more time on the earth to grow up, fine. Maybe he shouldn't have lied to her. Maybe he should have told her the truth. That's the only question for me. Not what he did, but whether he should have lied about it. That's an interesting debate to have. Like, do you lie? Was he protecting her because maybe she would try to go back? Or is he protecting himself because he didn't want to lose her? Most likely a little bit of both, I would say. And it's very human. It's very human to lie because you're afraid that the truth will mean you lose somebody you love. And it's very human to accept those lies also, even though you know that it's a lie, in which Ellie does. And I think a lot of this in the second game, we get into a lot of this, what the implications of all this are. It's so, I really need to go back and play it again. My take on the second game is that it passed judgment on Joel while also sort of easing up on him. It made him a more father-like figure. He calmed down a little in the second game. You see a lot of these moments of sort of fatherly tenderness in the flashback scenes with him and Ellie. And at the same time, the game seems to tell us that what he did was wrong. But I don't think it was wrong. Again, I think it was the only possible right thing you could have done in that scenario. It's real hard for me here because I say that the only thing that you can ask at this point is, what would you do in his shoes? And if you answer that you would have walked away, you would have let the Fireflies kill Ellie, I think I judge you for that. I do. I find that morally despicable. You were doing it to save the world. Do you have children? Would you really let your children die because some asshole told you that they just need to cut their brain open and save the world with their... This isn't even a question of like if Ellie was in a vegetative state, that would have been a different, like if she was already in a coma and maybe never would have woken up and then they were gonna do this and he did what he did, maybe we'd have a different debate on our hands, right? Then we'd have a totally different moral conundrum to unpack. But she wasn't sick or hurt or in a coma. And she wasn't given a choice, even though I don't think she should be given that choice. I don't think that taking a child's life on their okay is okay either. But I look through, there's this kind of, I don't know what to make of this article by Kenneth Shepard at Kotaku. The Last of Us show tries to change what the game told us about Joel. And it kind of says that it presents him more as a protector and it's less ambiguous, which may be true. But I guess I walked away from the game feeling the exact same way as I do with the show. I felt like Joel was a protector. He was a violent man and flawed, but still very much a protector. But we have all these, these comments where people are like, I watched the show with a huge group of people who did not play the game. They all were repulsed by Joel and extremely critical of his actions. And I believe a large part of this is due to how the show presents the situation and not being literally in Joel's shoes. When I played the game, I was very sympathetic to Joel, but did not feel that way during this episode. Maybe that's slightly influenced by the change of heart I had during part 2, but I still think the show is pretty clear on Joel. He did a bad thing for selfish reasons. Really? I can't imagine watching this with a group of people that were all repulsed by Joel's actions. I mean, yeah, it was very violent, and you can say that violence is wrong, as it generally is. But what the fuck would you do in his shoes? I am just trying to understand that. I don't know. I mean, maybe help me out here in the comments. I don't understand the moral argument that standing idly by, and letting a 14-year-old girl die is less repulsive than fighting to save her. The Fireflies didn't give her agency. Joel didn't give her agency, but he saved her life. The Fireflies, on the other hand, were giving her no agency and were going to kill her. The doctors were going to kill her for science. Regardless of whether this had a good or bad chance at saving the world, it's still the wrong thing. And that's, to me, not a gray area, but a black and white one. The lie, gray area. The lie is an interesting moral debate to have. I don't know what he should have done at that moment. I just don't know. But before that, 100%, Joel did the right thing. Not only did he do nothing wrong, he did the right thing. So, that's my take. Let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Peace.
There, I got you. Give me your hand. All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear
but
to
it's-
me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.